Hey YouTube, this is Lithium017. I thought I definitely need to bring you another video because I've been really busy. This video is a little bit different. This is the history of the 7 Koopalings, or better known as the 7 Koopa Kids. They first made their appearance in Super Mario Bros. 3, which was released on October 3rd, 1988 in Japan. The Japanese version of the game actually did not name the characters. It was the localization team from North America that named the characters. It is said that the characters are designed after the design team of Super Mario Bros. 3, which is very interesting. In order to kind of go through this in a certain order, I guess, I'm going to try and do these characters from oldest to youngest. Now there's 7 of them. What you see here is me battling the Super Mario World version. I recently beat that game, so I took recordings of the boss fights. So this first one that you see is named Ludwig Von Koopa, also known as Koopa Von Koopa in the TV series, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. He is the oldest, and he was second in command until Bowser Jr. came along. He's usually portrayed to be a mad genius who makes inventions, and he's actually named after Ludwig van Beethoven, which is a musician. Almost all the Koopalings are named after musicians. He has the ability to flutter jump like Yoshi. You see that in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And in Super Mario Bros. 3, he had rule over the pipe maze. In Super Mario Bros. World, he had control over the fourth world, which is Twin Bridges. And in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, his shell changed from green, and in previous entries it was blue. So that was a little bit odd. And he controls Sky World, which is World 7 in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The second Koopa Kid, the second oldest, is named Lemmy Koopa, also known as Hip Koopa, which is one of the twins in the show. He's the brother of Hop, which I will get to shortly. He's named after Lemmy Kilmister, lead singer and bass guitarist of Motorhead. I hope I pronounced that right. He's the smallest of the Koopa Kids and has a distinct multicolored hair that you can definitely see in the Wii version. He is given control over Iceland to rule over in Super Mario Bros. 3, and he stands on a large rubber ball. In Super Mario World, he does not stand on a ball, and he dwells in the Vanilla Dome in a castle, and he comes over the pipes, just as you saw. In New Super Mario Bros. Wii, he stands on his rubber ball once again, and he is the ruler of World 3, which is the Ice World, and then he has an orange shell. I really like these little clips of how Mario destroys the castles by jumping on them or erasing them with a paintbrush. I thought it was ridiculous because he's half the size of the castles. Now the third oldest is named Roy Koopa, also known as Bully Koopa. The reason for the bully name in the television show is because he had somewhat of a personality that he just bullied around his siblings. He's named after Roy Orbison, and he was originally depicted with a pink shell, but today he wears purple. He has command over the sky in Super Mario Bros. 3. Then he has control over the Forest of Illusion in Super Mario World, which I just battled against. And in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, he is the boss of World 2, which resembles the Desert World. All of the male Koopalings have these spiked cuffs around their wrists, and just note that in the videos if you can as it goes along, and I will talk about that when I get to the female Koopaling. Now the fourth child of Bowser is named Hop Koopa, or more commonly known as Iggy Koopa. He's one of the twins that I mentioned earlier, twin of Hip and Hop on the television show. He's said to be a pure schemer to his core that's demented and a mechanical genius of the Koopa Kids, and he's also known to be the thinnest one. He's actually named after Iggy Pop, apparently, who is obviously a punk rock singer and leader of the band named the Stooges. Here you see me battling him on a platform that sways back and forth, and he just throws a ball at you, and your goal is to launch him off of the platform into the lava. In Super Mario Bros. 3, he had control over the Big Island. In Super Mario World, he had control over Yoshi's Island. And then in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, He is in charge of the tropical rainforest that also had poisonous water, if you remember that, of World 5. And he wears a light green shell, but it used to be blue. And he has very distinctive glasses. Now, if you notice those cuffs that I was talking about, this is the only female Koopaling. Her name is Wendy Koopa, also known as Koopa Koopa. She's Bowser's fifth child, apparently. In the show, she turns 16 one episode when she asks for America for her birthday, and Bowser goes and steals the White House. It is ridiculous. She wears gold bracelets on her wrists, and she's said to be materialistic and greedy. She's named after Wendy O. Williams, who's a lead singer of the punk band The Pasmatics, if I pronounced that right. She took over Waterland in Super Mario Bros. 3 and shot candy rings at Mario, which adds to the materialistic approach of the character. In Super Mario World, she took over Chocolate Island. And then in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, she's the boss of World 4, which looks like tropical islands and water. She's always depicted wearing pink or red because I guess she's a girl, which is slightly sexist, but I guess it makes sense. Saying that, though, there was a male Koopa that always wore pink as well. The second youngest Koopa, as you see here, is Morton Koopa, or Big Mouth Koopa Jr., also known as Morton Jr. He's said to talk a lot, and that's probably why his name is Big Mouth in the show. He's named after Morton Downey Jr., who's a musician and also a talk show host. And when asked why he has a junior in his name in Nintendo Power, they apparently asked Bowser, and Bowser didn't really answer them. He just pelted the bombs at the people who were asking. He's very distinct because he has a gray shell, head, and skin, and he has a star-shaped birthmark on his face. In Super Mario Bros. 3, he took over Desert Hill, and he shoots circular rings. In Super Mario World, he has a green shell and climbs the walls and ceilings to drop on Mario. And in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, he is in World 6, which is a mountainous world and has many pipes and cliffs. Today, his shell is mostly seen as black rather than gray, so it's even darker. The youngest of the Koopa Kids is named Larry Koopa, also known as Cheatsy Koopa. He's known as Cheatsy because normally he cheats if he can't win, especially in the show. He's the only character not named after a musician, the only Koopaling. He's actually said to be named after Larry King. Very, very odd. He's the first Koopaling you ever do battle with in Super Mario Bros. 3 in Grassland. In Super Mario World, he's located in the Valley of Bowser, and he was on the shifting platform and fired 3 Podoboos at you. In New Super Mario Bros. Wii, he's located in World 1, which resembles a grass world, although he lost 2 of his 4 fangs in the Wii version. He has a blue shell and a star birthmark on the back of his head, which is similar to his brother Morton's. Possibly the birthmarks are there because they're the youngest. We're not certain. Now, because I recorded all of the boss fights of the first 7, I thought I should also include the boss fight of Bowser as well. Just to talk about him really briefly, he's obviously he's the King Koopa. There's many references in the television show of the Koopalings looking like the Ninja Turtles, and they actually do comment on that a little bit. They're self-aware, I guess, that they kind of look like the Ninja Turtles. The idea behind them is, even though Bowser is like the father. Now, if he's the father, we have no idea who the mother is. And that question's slightly raised in Super Mario Sunshine with Bowser Jr. And I'm going to talk about Bowser Jr. in a second, just as I finish this boss fight, and Peach comes out. Just gives Mario a little kiss. Sorry about the quality. This is Bowser Jr. in the Wii version. He is known to be the 8th child of Bowser, but he's not always recognized as one of the Koopalings. He's generally said to be the youngest, and he made his first appearance in Super Mario Sunshine, as I said, and he actually thought that Princess Peach was his mother, although ultimately he does admit that he knows that she is not his mother. He is said to have power over the other Koopalings as he directs them to their castles and drops them off from his airship in the Wii version. Now, I would love to see the Koopaling kids or the Koopa Kids in more games, just because they all have very unique personalities. I think they could work really well in a Mario Kart game. I hope that was insightful and provided you lots of information. Have a great day.